Ladies and gentlemen, today is June 1st, Sunday. Hopefully you guys are having a good day so far. As you can see, it's a pretty windy day. Just finished up with a client. I know I was going to try to keep it a little, on the low where I train people sometimes, but I doubt anyone will see this that works at any of these places, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, finished up the client. Went pretty well. Today we trained legs. Pretty decent workout. Haven't really made a vlog in a few days now. Got caught like a weird virus or sickness of some sort on Wednesday. Actually had to skip the gym that day. Not for just lazy purpose, obviously. Not on purpose, but it was on purpose. Just because I felt terrible. I felt just really bad. I had body aches for the whole day. I actually slept terrible that night prior, Tuesday to Wednesday. Had a horrible stomach ache and just started feeling these aches everywhere. And I thought it was from soreness from my leg workout on Monday or from back on Tuesday. And I guess some of it could have been because of that, but it became apparent that it wasn't just that. But after getting up, it was so hard to get up, and obviously I had to work, so I had to get up. But literally the whole day I felt like a zombie. Everything hurt, and I started feeling chills inside, but I wasn't cold necessarily. And I do live in Vegas, so it's 100 degrees these days. Those of you that are native to here know what I mean, and it's only gonna get worse. And we are in the desert at least, so it's a little dry, but it's still pretty bad. It's still scorching, especially when it's a little windy as it's been lately. Wind plus heat, it feels like an oven. But obviously I've been here for a long time now, so it's nothing new necessarily, but it always sucks when it comes back around and hits you in the face. But yeah, I felt terrible that Wednesday. Ended up skipping the gym. Actually just literally was in bed all day. Started feeling a little better towards the end of that day. I actually wasn't able to eat much because my stomach was hurting for some reason. I don't know. Thankfully it didn't vomit or anything. That would have been really bad. I hate vomiting. It feels weird. I don't even know how to explain it. But day after, just had to work both jobs again. Obviously Thursday it's my day off, and I felt I could have done what I normally do on Wednesday, that workout, and put it on Thursday, but I was like, let me just take this extra rest day, to properly recover from that Wednesday, because that took a lot out of me. Which honestly, I think that was the best play in my book, and maybe years back I probably wouldn't have done that, but it was the right choice. But Friday we did end up hitting legs per usual, squat day, hamstring dominant day. Went pretty well. Like I said, last leg day, Friday day, it's really difficult to record in that specific gym just because there's not a lot of space, and every machine is very cluttered and people are everywhere. So you can't really prop up a camera without literally it being in the way or being around a bunch of people. But Saturday ended up having a few clients at both gyms, so had to work out at the gym I'm not really used to recording at, and because of that wasn't able to record again. But obviously I'm not trying to make excuses. Obviously I tried. I am probably making excuses, but like I said, it's just really difficult to record there. But I am trying to get myself out of that little shell. Once in a while I feel a little motivation to just do it and screw it, and just not care what people think. But sometimes it comes around to bite me, and I do care. I'm I'm not perfect. I'm still trying to improve, just like I'm sure a lot of us are, a lot of you are. Hopefully I can improve on that. But yeah, today just gonna be like a little rest day. Obviously I don't train Sundays. Just gonna be a chill rest day, windy day, and we'll see how it goes. Now obviously I've been naming these weekly updates, but honestly I've been recording a lot of these little car vlogs, and you know, not much else to it, like in terms of training footage and like car stuff and other stuff. So we're just gonna try to change the name of these, at least only when it's in my car. I'll figure out a name to name these, because of I've been having issues kind of exporting all my files to my phone and uploading on YouTube. But I really have like 3 of these that I haven't posted, which you will probably see by the time this goes up. So we'll probably have to come up with like a new series for these car talks, whatever you want to call it. Obviously I'm a little monotone, and these can get a little boring, so if you guys have any ideas to make these a little more interesting, let me know. Like I said in the past, don't mind doing like a Q&A and just going over things, and you guys picking my brain. It's all good. I don't mind answering questions at all, like diet questions or anything really, honestly. Whether it's stuff you guys want to know about me or stuff about training that you guys want to know, just let me know. Car stuff. But so in light of our last video of us talking about 3 little tips to help you get shredded for the summer, we'll talk about like 3 common mistakes that people make that are not getting them shredded. So the opposite, that are keeping them overweight or fat, whatever you want to call it. So we'll start off at number 1, and then it's a pretty common one. These are all pretty common, but you don't really think about them. And number 1, it's calorie drinking. So meaning you're drinking your calories from liquids, so whatever it is, even stuff you don't think about. So there's the obvious choices such as soda, juice, coffee, like milk, etc. You get me. But that's a really important one that people don't think about, because it's really habitual. It becomes a habit. You're used to drinking these things, so you don't think about it. And then you're really wondering when you're on a diet, when you're eating all that less food, but you're wondering why you're not losing that weight. Well, it's probably because you're forgetting something, which is the calories that come from the stuff you're drinking, and that's really important. And there is always alternatives to these calorie-filled drinks. There's obviously diet drinks, and obviously they're not going to taste the same, but it's better than nothing. And honestly, you should get in the habit of prioritizing water anyways, especially as you get older, and it's really important to hydrate. Obviously it's important to hydrate at any age, but as you get older it becomes really more important. But moving on to number 2 is condiments. So these are your ketchups, your mayo, your salad dressings, etc. You get what I mean? All these things have calories, even though it's a minuscule amount. The problem is that each serving, like for a ketchup for example, each serving is about 15 to 25 calories. However, if you've ever tried weighing this serving out, it's not a lot of ketchup. It's a very little amount, especially if you're a big ketchup lover. You're spreading that thing on whatever you're eating, and it's gonna end up being like close to 100 calories without you even thinking about it. And that could put you behind, and that's probably why you're not losing weight. So the best way to go about it in that case is to always measure whatever, even if it's a ketchup, even if it's like a mayo, or some hot sauces out there, even if they're like 10 calories per serving, just measure it. It has the gram amount per serving in the back of the bottle for anything. So just measure it out, even if you look stupid doing it, but guess what? It's gonna help you get shredded. So who cares? But that's really important. That's something that even a steak I even made in the beginning, but I got in the habit of weighing it out. And if you don't have a food scale by now, you're really slacking. You're really holding yourself back, because that's really important. A food scale, you can't go wrong with a food scale, and they're so cheap. $20 from what I've seen for the cheapest one. There might be cheaper ones out there, but $20. I think the one I have is a Taylor brand. You can find those at your Target or even on Amazon probably. You don't need to get anything fancy or crazy if you don't want to, but that will do. But that's really important. And lastly, at number 3, it is snacks. Now this one's obviously a little more obvious, but there's a lot of misconceptions on the healthy snacks, such as your those veggie-based snacks, advertised snacks that you see, such as your veggie straws, or it's like a popcorn brand. I forgot. You probably know what I'm talking about. It's advertised as a healthier popcorn, but it still has like butter in it and stuff, seasonings. But there is healthy snacks out there, but people kind of mix up healthy with like low calorie, I guess you can say. Obviously something can be healthy, like it's not necessarily unhealthy. Like I'm sure dark chocolate isn't necessarily unhealthy, but it's not really going to do much for you in a diet sense. Obviously maybe for craving sense, but in terms of like allowing you to be satiated, it's not really going to do much for you. So you got to kind of figure out not necessarily healthy, but both, I guess, a combination of healthy and low calorie. So some snacks I would recommend is just stuff like, a Halo Top is a good alternative to ice cream. Rice cakes is a good alternative to like, some sort of chip or crunchy food like that. There is some popcorn that are pretty good for you. Just make sure to get the low fat option, the lowest fat option that you can find. What else? There is a lot of baked snacks out there that are decent. It's really the fat content that you should be aware of. The more fat something has, the higher in calories it's going to be, because each gram of fat is 9 calories. So you do the math. Something has 9 grams per serving. That's going to be what? 9 times 9. That's approximately 81 calories in just the fat alone. So whereas if something is mostly carb and protein based, it's gonna be 4 calories per serving, per gram, and then whatever it is per serving. Obviously there's a lot of math, but if you use one of those tracking apps, it literally does everything for you. All you got to do is put the numbers in and then just save it. And obviously you got to do your due diligence by consistently tracking, but also doing it accurately. So that's where the food scale comes into play, obviously. But yeah, hopefully these guys helped you out. If you guys are wondering about any more stuff, like I said, please let me know. But yeah, please like, subscribe, comment, and have a good day.